Dottie, and I wanted to take just a few minutes before I start my recipe and tell you where I've been, what's going on, and all that. And so I'm gonna do the Reader's Digest condensed version. So 2 weeks ago, I took a nap, and when I woke up, I was really sick, just like the flu had hit me full force. And so I laid around and tried to feel better for several days, and I was just getting nowhere, and I did have some COVID symptoms. So I went on to the urgent care, which sent me to the ER, and they ran the COVID test, and I did not have it, thank you God. And but I did have internal problems, and so they gave me a prescription for antibiotics. So I came home and laid around again, and at one point was the sickest I had been, couldn't even raise my head. But I eventually went back to the doctor several days ago, and the antibiotics had not touched my problem, so the doctor gave me a stronger antibiotic, and with possibly even more medication coming, because they then found something else. And the doctor did a second COVID test, which turned out negative also. So now, if I'm laying in the bed and, nothing going on, I don't feel that bad. But when I sit up or try to walk, I really lose my breath very quick, and I just start feeling bad. But if I don't get up and push myself, I'm, not going to get better. So I need to go ahead and get back into my cooking and just different things in life I enjoy doing, and day by day, hopefully, I just start feeling better. Now, I want to say yesterday I cooked a meal for the first time in almost 2 weeks, and I could not have done it without Randy. The whole time I've been sick, he has been there, just, anything I need he can get for me, which I have cornered the market on ice water. I absolutely crave it, and he's kept me stocked in that, and he helped me with anything I needed him to do as far as cooking that meal yesterday, and I could not have made that meal without him. And it was a very simple meal. It was just vegetable stew. And he's helping me today, getting everything ready for me and all that. So, my videos are really real life, and you see all these mistakes and craziness going on, and you might see a lot of that here for a while, because, when you're not 100%, and even when I am 100%, I make a lot of mistakes, which is just me. That's my personality. That's how I am, and it's all okay. So I'm going to make a really hearty dish for you. It's a pork loin dish, and you can serve it a couple different ways. And anyway, it's going to be good. So I am going to go over to the stove here in just a second and get things together, and I will meet you over there and we'll get this started. Okay, y'all, we're going to get started with our, it's a pork tenderloin dish. And so the first thing I'm going to do is, this is my ice cooler crock pot. It looks like a cooler, but it's a crock pot, and I love it. Anyway, I have an onion, about a medium-sized onion, and I'm gonna just cut it in some chunks. And toss it in to the bottom of the crock pot. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put the tenderloin in. And I got these at Sam's Club, and you got 3 in a pack for, it seems like $7 and something. And I really only wanted to use 1, but Randy got 2 out, and I don't want to hurt his feelings, and it'll make good leftovers. So I'm going to put both of those tenderloins in. And then I'm going to put a little salt and pepper. The next thing I'm going to do is I wanted cream of mushroom soup, but I don't have any. So I'm just going to use 1 can of cream of chicken. By the time I finish, you won't really be able to taste the cream of chicken. I really wanted the cream of mushroom for the little mushrooms in it. And we don't eat enough mushrooms or like them that well to buy them. So I put the soup into here. Then I have my garlic that I am just about out of. I'm making a Sam's pickup order, and I'm putting garlic on it, and once I get the garlic, I will show you again how I make it. That is absolutely one of the best things I've ever done. So now I'm going to put a nice big scoop of garlic in with my soup. And then let me get right here at the sink and add some water. And I've added I can't even see. I really can't see. I think it's about 3 cups. And I'm stirring that all together. Breaking up the cream of chicken soup. And then just pour that over your meat. Okay. And for now, that's it. When we get finished with this, it's going to have a lot of flavor right now. I'm sure it's pretty bland. But anyway, I'm going to put it on high for 4 hours, and in 4 hours we'll come back and hopefully our meat will be real tender, and then we'll move on to the next step. We're back and ready to put the last part of our recipe together. So I'll bring you on down to the, I'm gonna call it the cooler. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a lot of broth in our meat. And there, I wanted there to be a lot of broth. So let's get these pieces of meat out. I think it'd be easier if I just used a fork. One time during the cooking process, I turned the meat over. So now we're left with the broth. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of this brown gravy powder in here and thicken this up. I don't want a real thick gravy, but just sort of medium. So what I would do if I were you, because we're all going to be using different amounts probably, is just read on the little thing right here and it will tell you how much to use. But I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons. Okay, there's one. And there's 2. And so I'm going to stir that up and get all the powder good and incorporated into the broth. And the broth was good as it was, but that brown gravy has a wonderful flavor to it that'd make it be even that much better. So now that you'll see clumps of that gravy mix, and as this cooks that will dissolve, so I'm not real worried about that. So the next thing I need to do, and I believe you can see me, is I don't want to shred this. I just want to make like little chunks and just put it back into the broth. Well, I cannot pick that up to save me. Once I get going with this, it'll be faster. And as I hope you can see, it's just falling apart. And here's our last piece. And it looks a little bit more shredded than what I wanted it to be, but that's okay. If you want to shred yours, you go right ahead. And so we're pushing the meat all down into the broth. And then I'm going to take a box. I had turkey. I am not able to tell the difference between pork, chicken, and turkey stovetop stuffing. So go ahead and pour this on top. And what you really have to be sure and do here, push it around and even it out. And then push it down into the liquid. Don't just leave it laying on top. And so all that liquid that we had is going to be gravy and liquid that has gone into the stuffing. And so from here, I'm going to put the lid back down on it. And now I'm going to put it on low. And I'm going to let it go for an hour. After that hour's up, it will be ready, and I'll show you how I'm going to serve it. Okay, y'all, our crock pot tenderloin is done, and it smells so good. If it tastes like it smells, it's really going to be a winner. So, let me bring it down. And here is what the tenderloin with the, I started to say hamburger helper, but the, I can't think of the name, but you saw me put it on so you know what it is. And anyway, now I feel really silly that I can't think of the name of it. Stuffing, that's what it is. Anyway, that's in here. I made a pot of my famous instant mashed potatoes, which are only famous in my household. But I'm going to give one more little stir, because I put cream cheese in them and it's not quite melted. But we're going to put some potatoes down, and then I'm going to get some of the meat with the stuffing cut. It's a little bit heavy. Well, I wanted to keep it kind of in a square, but it's not going to. So here we go. So I wanted the stuffing on top, but it's down there underneath. But this is how it turned out. It is very bland looking, but really, really tasty. So I hope that you decide to give it a try. And if you have instant mashed potatoes, put some cream cheese in them. You won't regret it. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for, I know, all your prayers and concern. It means so much to me, and I'm going to try to have another video tomorrow. I love y'all very much. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.